Come on. All right, so let's go back to YouTube. Is it sending anything? Okay. That looks good. Share my screen, share. All right, so let me go back to my profile. It's a learning experience. I don't even know if I'm live. All right, so let me go back to my profile. There's the delay. Okay, looks like I'm good again. I'm going to copy this link. It's a learning experience. I don't even know if I'm live. Go back to Facebook. Edit. Paste. Save. I don't know if it's the same link. I gotta edit. Oh, come on. Edit post. So I've got two links. I'm starting over. So let me go into YouTube to make sure this is actually working. And I'll probably have to cut it short with the video. Let's see what we got. So let me go back to my profile. Okay, looking good. Got it. Starting over. All right. So here's what we're looking at. We've got a nice prominence down here. Got some prominences along this limb and a little bit of something down here that I haven't taken an opportunity to look at yet. So let's go down. Let's look at the interesting stuff first. Because I want to see what kind of quality Jitsi gives me. So let's go into YouTube to make sure this is actually working. And I'll bring up the nice prominence down here. Got some prominences along this limb and a little bit of something down here that I haven't taken an opportunity to look at yet. So I'm just looking at my feed here. Interesting stuff first. So I can make out that prominence. Yeah, I can make out that prominence. So I want to see what kind of quality. It's not bad. So at least not on the phone. And then we've got this neat stuff up in here. I think this is really cool. Just how it's broken up, split apart. Now the one thing I'm curious about is if I go I play with some of the these settings, that really messes with it, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Makes it real, I don't know what to call this, splotchy. I don't like it. I mean, it may result in good processing, but yeah, I don't like it. Let me turn that off. I like this better. So there we've got our active regions, our sunspots. And so we've actually, this is not one active region. Let me test my feed, see what it's doing. Turn the volume down so you can't hear. All right. So 2778, 2779 active regions, separate sunspots. There's essentially areas where it's cooler, relatively cooler. And then we've got those neat flares along the limbs. So let's go back up here and play with some settings. Now this is with fire capture, okay? I'm a little more comfortable using the default settings in the ASI Studio that came with the camera. But in terms of what it's showing on Jitsi, the quality's not too bad. Got some good flares there. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything way out here. Because sometimes when you have flares like this, I'll see extra stuff out here. Now the one way to really check it is to crank the exposure to see if you see anything else out there. And the other thing I can do is I can zoom out. Oh, wrong way. Actually, got a little bit along the top there too, don't we? So we got this down here, this down here. That's actually not a bad capture. Even though I get this big orange area down here. You get about 15 seconds of that. With flares, when I do a capture, when I do the prominence section, what I normally do is I do a short one because I take one frame out of it. Stacking has not been that productive. Actually, that's pretty good too. I like that. And then I can edit in post in like Photoshop or something. Bring out some of the details. 14, 15 seconds. Eating up my hard drive space. Just trying to see if I can find some stuff further out. I'm not seeing anything out here. Get some stuff right in there too. I missed that. Let's go around the sun. So this is starting to arc a little bit. I can see a little bit of darkness underneath. I don't know if you can see it in Jitsi. We'll zoom in maybe. That's starting to arc just the least little bit. Let's go down along the edge here. See what else we got. There's the one down here. And actually maybe a little bit right here. Okay. Let's keep going around. Actually, nope. There's nothing out here. And we get this arch down here. There's a lot going on in this. I can crank the gain. I'm just trying to see what I can pull out in terms of detail. I mean, there's so much going on there that it's hard to make out. All right, keep the gain high. Gamma turned down right about. Maybe there. No. I'm just playing with stuff, seeing what I can draw out. All right, so there's this new one that I didn't see before, right in here. Right in there. A little bump there, but I don't think a flat. Just seeing what all I can pull out with oh. That's interesting. I don't know what adaptive smooth is. Just see what might be better for the sun. You know what I mean? Because this HQ linear is actually doing some neat detail. Yeah, it makes it a little grainy though, doesn't it? Let's see. Edge, not so much. Nearest neighbor. It doesn't really change it. But there's definitely a lot going on in this flare right here. Let's see. Yeah, I got the histogram disabled just so I'm not so busy on the screen. Drop the gain a little bit. Drop the exposure. It's real grainy. This, though, I just don't like. I won't do darks, flats. Don't want timestamp. So go back to, oh, we're getting, that's what's going on. All right, I'm going into my overhang, so I'm going to have to shut her down. Wait for this. Helicopter or plane to cut it out. But yeah, there's another test. Stop sharing my screen. Go back to Jitsi. So, all right. So that was a decent test of Jitsi. It messed up. It's a learning experience. What I'm going to have to do is get used to the order that I do everything in, because the trick is to share the content to as many people as I can with decent quality. And Jitsi doesn't do a great job of that. And the one thing I like is that I can pair it with YouTube. All I got to do is enter the stream key. And unfortunately, nobody joined me from the Baton Rouge Astronomical Society to sort of cooperate and talk over each other. But at some point, our club is going to be doing live streams like this for outreach purposes. And so the goal is to practice and get good enough at doing this so that we don't have the interruptions that I dealt with earlier. We're all, going through this pandemic, trying to find ways to get around the obstacles. And right now we can't get out in front of people face to face in crowds. We're working on a way to do this with a projection screen. But for the time being, we've got individual members who have access to the internet, have cameras and YouTube accounts, and we can live stream. Jitsi is free. Screen sharing seems to work. So if you're doing this for your club, if you're doing this personally, leave some comments, give me some suggestions. I'm not talking about content, I'm not talking about going through a stream and talking about what solar flares are, what sunspots are. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the process, the use of Jitsi and YouTube to share a live stream, to use Fire Capture, ASI Studio to show images to people. That's the commentary I'm looking for. That's the feedback I'd like to get from people who do this on a regular basis. I think it'll help our community as a whole, as amateur astronomers. I think the more people we have to get online and share what's out there through our telescopes is more powerful if we use virtual, if we use YouTube, because of the number of people we can reach. So thank you for those of you who watched, who suffered through this. Like I said, I wanted to take this opportunity to catch the sunspots that we were fortunate enough to have. Hopefully this is a sign of more to come. All right, thank you. I'm going to shut her down. Appreciate you.